once he told me that and I tried that, I realized it's not hard at all to find the applications you're looking for. You just have to know what is the topic of the application that you're looking for.
I see.
So I believe until people are really accustomed to it, until a lot of extensions are made and extensibility is added into GNOME 3. And to be honest, people make it easier because like that part of just typing in the topic of the app or the tag of the app, nowhere in the interface does it make it obvious. So maybe in 3 months, somebody will figure out, hey, we can put here, type in application or, not genre, but task.
Right. Like a variety.
Right. Right. So I think with those kind of things, if people do that kind of thing, I think they will, it will make it easier to digest. And sooner or later, I think people will start using the newfangled devices.
Right. Unless they keep making them like tablet centric, to be easily used on a tablet, then it just doesn't work.
I'm not going to say it does. And here's the best example I have of how annoyed I felt the first time I used those interfaces. I tried to put Android on my EEE 701G Surf, not a touchscreen device. Android touchscreen interface.
Mm-hmm.
It was, and I already used Android for months.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it. It was painful to work around the interface with a touchpad.
Really?
Oh, because I had to like touch it just to get the notification bar come down. I literally like 3 times every time click, drag, let go just right to get it to work because it's not a touch interface where you just go and it works. That's the kind of aggravation I felt the first time I used Unity and the first time I used GNOME 3. I thought,
right,
this device, hold up the mouse, shaking at it.
That's funny.
So, and the last thing I want is a monitor where I got to pull out cleaner and clean every day because of finger smudges.
Sure.
So I think they're going to have its place. I think they can bridge the gap between more functional for keyboard and mouse and at least applicable for touch. I don't want to have 2 completely different interfaces.
You don't? Why not?
Because that just means twice as much I have to learn and use.
Oh, come on, you could fit it into that head. But I mean, it's just 2 different. It's two completely different devices. That's the thing.
Well, yeah, but they're both computers. I mean, that's the way I think about it. I'll say, I ain't gonna lie, I don't know what I really want. Android on this device is good, but there's certain computer-like tasks I try to do. And it is hard.
Yes.
It is long.
Totally.
I mean, I have before opened up the phone, logged in with an FTP server to my website, downloaded a file, opened the file in a text editor, edited the file, took the file, uploaded it to the FTP server, and then verified it worked right.
Mm-hmm.
On the computer, that's 5 minutes, 8 minutes, maybe.
Yeah.
Took me 20 plus minutes.
Yeah, I'm with you. I know what you mean.
On this phone, and that's a touchscreen interface. I believe they have their place. You know what I mean?
And on a somewhat related subject, I sold my iPad yesterday. Do not have it anymore. I'm looking at Android tablets. I'm not sure what I'm going to get. We'll see.
I listen. I gotta say, that Prime looks good, man.
Yeah, too big. I'm talking 7-inch. Well, do you like your Streak?
I love it. The only thing I hate is the battery.
Yeah.
What I really hate is not the battery. Let me take that back. I hate the power adapter. Blows.
Really?
Oh, it's some proprietary fligamaflam. It's bad. And the cord that it comes with is literally like 2 feet long. So if I plug it up at my desk on the ground, and if I have it on my desk, literally like my knee will hit the cord and it will come flying off.
Oh, dude, that would piss me off so much.
And a cord from Dell,
$80?
I think it was $30. for a USB cord, essentially is what it is. So I say get a device with a good adapter.
I'm looking at a Galaxy Tab 7-inch, but Tracy's yelling fire. He has 2 of them.
Oh, he loves the fire.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it fast, Tracy? Is it fast? Is it snappy? The only reason I'm not thinking too much about the fire is it might not be fast enough. That's all.
I'll say this: if you're already anyway attached to the Amazon ecosystem, you almost have to have a fire. You almost have to. Hardware-wise, it is very respectable. It's like anything else, Steve. If you get, hypothetically, the Droid Prime, Transformer Prime, you can put stuff on that Prime and make it slow in a week. You know what I mean? It matters what you put on it, I'll say. It's a good thing. Right. And I'll say it's friendly enough that he showed it to his wife. His wife looked at it. She already has, I believe, a regular Kindle, I believe. And she touched it, and she touched it, and she touched it, and turned to him and said, all I know is you better buy another one of these before the first of the year, or this one's mine. So it was easy enough to use, and it had everything entertainment-wise that she could possibly want.
Gotcha.
Because he's a cord cutter. He's a cord cutter.
Nice.
Yeah, now the only bad thing I've heard about the fire, this is to me is the only truly legitimately bad thing about the fire. Steve Gibson went on a rant of it's not pretty enough.
What?
I
don't listen to him for any styling information.
Right. He's an iPad junkie and he wants everything too perfect. The only downside I heard about the fire is this. If you order it from Amazon.com and it gets misshipped to my house, I can start ordering a whole bunch of stuff and never have your password.
Oh, really?
Because it leaves from the factory with your account token already on there, so I don't have to log in.
Wow. I wouldn't be doing it. I would get it from Best Buy or something.
Right. Well, and if you do get it from Best Buy, you have a return policy, Steve. I say pull a Chris Barriar. Yeah. I definitely think it's more worth playing with than the Nook. I honestly believe that.
Okay. Well, thank you all for your advice. We'll see what happens.
Yep, and Tracy did just talk about that on the last episode of the Techie Geek at the techiegeek.com too.
Awesome. I got to check it out. I think I'm one behind on the Techie Geek, but lately I've been trying to keep up.
Yeah, it's a good show. Okay, next thing we'll talk about. Okay, I'm not a fan of the Ubuntu Software Center because it tries to, in one way, lock people into using Ubuntu. That's not the point of this article. This article, in my mind, is mistitled. It is called the 20 most highly rated applications to install from the Ubuntu Software Center. First off, that's way too long of a title. It should just be called the 20 most highly rated applications you can install in Ubuntu.
Dude, that's not that much shorter. That's almost the same length.
I know. I didn't say it was a great title, Steve. Okay. These are the apps that people seem to really like a lot, and I'm not going to lie. There's a couple I haven't heard in here. Okay. One of them I have heard in here that I did mention on here before is Stellarium Planetarium software. I can't even say the word right. This is supposedly absurdly easy and absurdly accurate and detailed planetarium software where you can spin the globe, look at the sky, turn off the constellations, see the planets, do all kinds of different stuff, go through time itself and see what the sky looks like. Ultra good thing. They have some browsers like Chromium. They have GNU Cache, which I don't think gets enough credit. So I'm happy to see this this article talk about it. Think of it as a more open-ended QuickBooks. Good and bad, double-edged sword, like anything else in life, Steve, which means when you download it and run it for the first time, it ain't going to help your business at all because you need to configure it how you want it.
Right.
You need to set up an employees table and say, well, I want to record their first name, their last name, their address. You literally have to set it up like that kind of thing. It does have templates and wizards that help it along. I think if you want to do bookkeeping, this is definitely a good thing to check out.
Okay.
Blender, Quake, I love. Synaptic Package Manager. Instead of using the Software Center, you can use Synaptic Package Manager. I like Synaptic Package Manager. Less bloaty, loads quicker.
Cool.
Screen capture tools.
Shutter.
Synapse Launcher, which I've never heard of. I use Culfer, but I'll have to check this one out. Mumble. Love Mumble. XChat, UGet, Download Manager. So you can literally have a separate application, manage all your downloads. So you can literally, if you're on poor internet connections, you can say, I want to download, stuff you find during the day, this, and this. And then when you go to bed, say, okay, download them all.
Really?
Yeah.
Sweet.
I like it. And then, of course, they have GIMP, a lot of stuff. If you want to look at some of the high-rated apps from OpenShot, Inkscape, I mean, list goes on and on and on. Go check it out. And I'll say they have pretty screenshots.
Yeah, neat. Very cool.
Yeah. And of course, more than a couple of these applications are cross-platform. Gotta say that.
That's good. Good thing to add.
Absolutely. Next thing, I'll say this. Don't click on this next link if you're impatient. Okay? It's an interview with Linus Torvalds at LinuxCon in Europe 2011. The first 2 minutes, 3 minutes of the video is complete waste of time. It shows penguins and has goofy music and has people taking pictures. It's really bad. You have to jump like 2.5 minutes in before it gets to the good stuff. Okay. And this is a very informal thing where the guy asks questions which you don't see in the video. He'll break to like a segue saying Linus Torvald on Android. And then I'll cut back to him talking about what he thinks about Android and how it works. What I gather from this video is a couple of things. He is a very level-headed, very commonsensical, is the only word I can think about putting it, man when it comes to a lot of different stuff. Okay. He isn't flamboyant. He is not authoritative with a hammer about things. At one point, he even says there was a disagreement between the GPL2 and the GPL3 to him, the last two versions of the GPL license. And he said, look, anybody can do whatever they want to. I am publishing mine in GPL2. I don't agree with everything in the GPL3. If you want to do stuff in GPL3, that's fine. Do it. He's not saying it's bad, it's horrible, you shouldn't use it.
All right.
He's being very open about it, which I think is, it's sometimes hard to do,
Good for him.
And the other thing I add, he kind of believes what I kind of have came to believe about UEFI. UEFI is the secure bootloader that's going to replace, strike that reverse. UEFI is going to replace BIOS as the basic input-output system for computers when Windows 8 comes out. This is a PC Windows thing. Mm-hmm. It's going to handle all of that. And in that system, you're going to have the ability to securely boot to an operating system. The operating system has to be signed and secured and digitally signed. Some people are saying, well, you won't be able to dual boot Linux. This sucks. This is evil. He says, no, this is just a tool. This is not evil. I, in fact, kind of like it. I would like to be able to boot up my computer and say, you're only allowed to boot into what I say you're allowed to boot to. And then when it comes time for me to do something else on my computer, then let me disable that, change my computer, and now make it only be able to boot into this new thing.
Mm-hmm. But isn't the problem that you can't change it, or are you able to change it?
A lot of this is who be, could be, what be. I don't know. Everybody's freaking out on what could happen kind of thing. You know what I mean? I could step on a bridge and it could fall over. It doesn't mean I'm not going to walk on the bridge. It doesn't mean the bridge should be condemned. It just means